Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Talking Halos. I'm your host today, Jared Timms, and I am joined alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Nate Green. Nate, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Predicted the home run derby champ, which is
So did I.
yesterday. Yeah, it's
Weird,
fantastic.
right?
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see Juan Soto win, but also great day to
KP.
watch the MLB draft.
Yeah, and Albert Pujols. I got to throw that one out there. That was
Yes,
fun.
it was
mean,
fun to see him win a round.
yeah.
Honestly, like I think after his first round, they were like, oh yeah, that's not going to be enough to beat Schwarber, and he gets in the swing off and wins, and it was like, oh, okay, this made the whole night for
Yeah.
a lot of people. So that was really fun to watch.
Yep. And then always my favorite part, minus the now MLB draft, is the Celebrity All-Star game. Absolutely love that. Celebrity softball game, should I say. Love the Celebrity softball game.
Yep.
I know that's a bad look, but love it. I think it's one of my favorite things. Sorry. Got to throw that out there. So, guys, just want to thank you all so much for listening to this podcast here at Talking Halos. Of course, Blue Wire. Blue Wire, Blue Wire, Blue Wire. If you're looking to start a podcast, go ahead and jump onto Blue Wire. They do a fantastic job. Blue Wire, if you're listening to this as well, or for some shirts, go ahead and do that, man. Mr. Blue Wire. I think it's Mr. Blue Wire or Miss Blue Wire.
I don't know.
All right, let's keep going.
Never assume. Let's keep
keep going. All right, getting off topic. You guys can go ahead and follow us on all of our social medias: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's 3 places. We're doing fantastic stuff on there. Shout out to our boy Mikey for helping us out on that. Doing a fantastic job. Of course, go look him up as well. He does some card stuff. Absolutely love that side of things as well. So go give him a follow. You know what to do. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Jared_Timms. That's me. You can follow Nate at NateGreen34. And let's get this going. Let's talk some MLB draft.
Let's go.
That was a bad intro. I don't care. We're gonna roll with it.
Who cares? Let's just start with the first pick of the day for the Angels, because I know that's where you want to start.
I want to take a step. I want to take a step back here. I just want to say that I take a step back. I want. How do we feel about today? Today, yesterday, whenever you're listening to this, day 2 of the MLB draft. I want to first off know how you feel, and second off, I want to throw this out there. I actually think that the Angels got maybe the best position player available yesterday in Zach Nato, and they also probably saved a good amount of money. I know you're not agreeing
at the time, maybe.
Yeah,
obviously,
we'll
Drew, you could obviously argue Drew and Holiday are the top players in this draft. Maybe even Tremar. I mean, he's probably
best player available.
Yeah.
Best guy available.
At the time, probably so. But yeah, very exciting with what the Angels have done so far. I think there's a lot of room to see some improvement. A lot of money, I think, could be out there for a high school kid. I guess today. Right, we're talking today. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of high school money. There could be one kid that you can sneak in. Silseth was an 11th rounder, I believe. So that's where we're going to start with today. And who knows, maybe they find another gem in the 11th through the 15th round.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, let's go back and let's talk about day 2. I honestly think the Angels had a fantastic day. Like, the more and more you look at it, have I sold it to you on that one? Like, I think we were a little optimistic.
There's only one issue with the day 2 for me, but I think day 2 went really well. I like the guys they got. Some really fun fan favorites. I'm a huge college baseball guy, so being able to watch, I watched a lot of these guys all year, so it's fun for me.
Let's just start it off right at pick number 3. Am I allowed to say I predicted it? Dude, I've been saying
we've been talking about Ben Joyce to the Angels for, I don't know, 6 months now. Yeah. I think the first time we saw him in February, everyone was like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? And I think everyone was like, can we get this guy on our team? And this is something you've been wanting for a long time. The Angels went out and got him. And yeah, it's an exciting person. I think if you watched an inning of college baseball this year, you probably know who Ben Joyce is.
If you were on social media at all, you know who Ben Joyce is, because fastballs, I mean, at the very minimum, upper 9s.
99 to 103.
99 to 103. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the average fastball velo was 101. His max velo was 105.5, I think is what was reported. The only issue I have with this, and if there is an issue to have, if you're going to nitpick a little bit, because I love Ben Joyce. I'm ecstatic to see what he does. Like, you can literally put him in an Angels jersey next week, and let him go pitch at the big league level, and I would be like, yep, that makes sense. Like, if there was one person to put money on to be the first guy up, it would be Ben Joyce probably.
That was the one thing I was disappointed with. His head coach was on the MLB draft before any picks. And they asked him, who's the first guy in the bigs? And he did not say his own guy. He said, I think he said the Cal Poly shortstop, which really frustrated me because it's always a pitcher. Like, let's get on with that. But second of all, how do you have a guy on your team all year who throws 103 and he's not the first guy to the bigs? Like, get out of here.
It'll actually be super impressive if the Angels go back-to-back seasons with the first guy of the draft being up. Seth was the first guy up from the 2021 draft. Ben Joyce has a legit chance. Like, Seth, there was like no talk about him at all. Like, it was whatever, like it was maybe Bachman could. And even Detmers the first guy up in that draft in 2020?
So he might have been.
That's impressive. That is really impressive. We're going to have to go and look at that.
He might have been the first pitcher up. I'm not 100%. I'll have to double check on that. I'll check that for you while you're
that's an impressive thing. But
draft.
So there's two trains of thought here. And I'm sorry, we're getting really excited because you can tell we liked it. Like, day 2 for the Angels was really, really good. It's sneaky good day for the Angels for sure. You look at Ben Joyce, there's two schools of thought on what you can do. You throw him right in the bigs, let him go chuck. Which is fine. Like, I think you can work with that. Or you take a step back, right? The Angels have been very, very good at producing sliders. You saw it with Reed Detmers. A lot of guys in the Angels system are throwing a very good slider, and I think I know who to tip the cap to. I'm not going to say it yet, but I think I know who to tip the cap to on that side of things. And he doesn't have to be up. You can go actually develop this kid into being a legitimate back of the bullpen type of guy. And I think that might be the route that the Angels go. I don't think we see Joyce up this year. Maybe mid next year at some point we see it. If the Angels are looking like,
I think you could see him beginning of next year.
Yeah, that's the earliest I think we see him. I think you let him go learn how to throw a slider in Arizona. A legit slider. Like, he has a slider, and 101 to 103 is going to play anywhere. But I would love to see him go get a legit slider.
To 91 too.
Yeah. At least I'd love to see him go to Arizona and work on that. And Nate, did you look that up? Was Reed Detmers the first guy up too?
Second guy. We forgot Jared Crochet.
Oh, Crochet. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's impressive though. I'll say that.
Yes. Ben Joyce reminds me a lot of Joel Zumaya. I want to bring that name back up. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting one to think about. Super hard thrower. He's going to be electric. I mean, he's going to be someone where when he comes into games, people are going to be excited to watch this guy pitch. They want to see how hard he throws, what velo he's going to hit. So I'm excited with the pick. Ben Joyce, I think a lot of teams wanted this guy. So I'm really excited with getting Ben Joyce in the third.
Absolutely.
Probably around slot too, maybe even, probably right around slot. So that's not going to cost the Angels as well, which is huge.
Big thing to note there, and we'll talk about it with all these guys, is that every single player that the Angels have picked so far, starting at Neto all the way down to 10 here at Matt Coutney, the first baseman, have either been at slot or will be under slot. So I'm extremely intrigued to know what the Angels do on day 3.
There's got to be a high school kid who's going to make some money.
Couple. I think there's going to be a couple that they're going to go spend some money on, and it'll be really fun to see what they do. So let's get on to the 4th round pick for the Angels. Jake Madden, right-handed pitcher out of Northwest Florida Junior College, 93rd ranked prospect by MLB Pipeline. I'm always intrigued by junior college kids. It's one of those things where it's maybe like a low school type of guy, or a kid that wanted to get drafted right away. And this could very well be the case. I know the stats might not necessarily say that he had a fantastic year, but I'm very impressed with what he has to offer. I think that he is actually going to, in a sense, stick as a starter for a while. It's a very smooth and clean, easy delivery. I don't think he's going to get hurt. It's fastball, changeup, slider. Slider's a good piece that he has. The fastball will probably sit low to mid 90s, which is going to work. And like I said, this guy has, I'm very intrigued. There's not going to be a lot of reports out on him because of the junior college, and he hasn't really faced anybody notable yet. But yeah, dude, this Jake Madden kid, again, like I said, I'm a big fan of the smooth and easy delivery. He does have the control issue, which worries me that he might go to the bullpen, but at the same time, he's got 3 pitches, the changeup's in the works, and I'm very excited to see what they do with this kid.
I got some stuff for you on him. Yep. Alabama commit 96.5 is the max velo we've seen him hit. 94, 95.5 is what you normally see. 21, 92 spin rate on the fastball. Slider 82 to 85, 20, 83 spin rate on the slider. So interesting stuff on him. Alabama commit, does not look like he will be going there. I know he's a big body kid, 6'6", 175, maybe even 185 right now. So I love the big frame. That was one of the reasons why I like some of the other pitchers in this draft earlier in the first round. But yeah, super, super excited for this guy. He could be the control issue is going to be the biggest question mark with him. So yeah, reliever vibe is a little bit, but he could be a starter. He started in junior college. He came out of the bullpen in his last outing, I believe, but for the most part, all of his appearances last year were starts.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a smooth, easy, repeatable delivery for a 6'6" kid. I'm fairly convinced that he sticks a starter. I understand the worry of a reliever, but for being 6'6", it's free, easy, smooth. If you guys have a chance, go ahead and go look him up and watch the delivery. It's pretty fun. Slider's going to work pretty well. It's changeups in the works. The Angels have done again a very good job of producing guys like producing changeups and sliders for guys. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do with this kid as well. So next pick, the Angels' 5th rounder, Nate.
Another college favorite. Another college favorite. I mean, when you watch college baseball, you've seen this guy, Sonny DiChiara from Auburn. He's a big boy. He is a big boy. 6'3", 265.
Let's say it together on 3. What does he do on 3? 1, 2, 3. He rakes.
He mashes baseballs.
We were close to count being the same thing.
He absolutely mashes baseballs. One of my favorite things about him, I remember watching the College World Series. He was bunting in BP, and the announcers were like, why in the heck is he bunting in BP? He's never going to bunt. He just mashes. So this kid is going to rake. It's going to be tough for him to stick at first base, I know, but he's probably a DH long term. But if he can hit, good things happen. We can always find a place for a guy who can hit. That is something the Angels were lacking, is the offense. So if he can go in, he hit 22 bombs this year at Auburn, which is a decent park. Left field's kind of a high wall and deep, so not super deep, but still a tough place to hit. And he's playing the SEC, which is great. He's hitting, he hit north of 380, and he had 22 bombs. So love to see the SEC guy raking, and then senior sign as well. So we know he's not going to be making over slot, which is huge. Yeah, really, really, really fun player, at least. Reminds me of Luke and Baker. I think that was what I kind of said to Jared. A little bit more power in college than Baker, but similar size and similar projections with Baker, where the Rockies and Cardinals kind of thought like, hey, this guy can rake, but where's he going to play? So Sonny DiChiara, really, really interesting player. He's going to rake, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm not worried about this is going to sound not good, but I'm not worried about the size either. Like,
oh no,
I'm not worried at all. Like I'm bought in on this right now. Like, I know there's been some stuff with Perry, as of late, and like everybody's all, we're like wanting to get Perry out of there. But like, I'm kind of sold on what Perry did this. I mean, we're 2 days in. Let's talk after day 3, but they really had a good day. And let's move on to their 6th round pick, the number 202 ranked prospect by MLB Pipeline. This is somebody else that was also on a lot of social media, by the way. He actually wasn't born in the United States, was born in Cuba, pitches at Oklahoma State, right-handed pitcher Victor Medeiros. Fastball is going to sit low to mid-90s again. More of a thrower. If you hear the Oklahoma State more of a thrower thing, you'll probably hear that in the 7th round as well. Angels did very similar things there. However, again, if you can find the strike zone, he's got a wicked curveball. He's got the sweep and slider. And I'm kind of sold on him too. I'm telling you, man, I'm a fan of this draft. I like what they did. And they didn't just go get pitching either. Under slot here as well. Probably under slot, yeah, or at slot. It's gonna be close. It'll be either at or right, just under slot. But again, saving
maybe like $50,000-$100,000 under slot, like nothing crazy.
Sir, you got anything on this guy, or what do you got?
No, go ahead. I think the Oklahoma State guys. Oklahoma State has pitched really well this year, and yeah, he had a good year. So
yep.
We can move on to the next guy.
I'm very intrigued to see what he does at the next level for sure. And Angels have a lot of Cubans as well. They've gone that Cuban route on the international side of things. It's cool to see them draft a Cuban. Not too many Cubans get drafted, by the way. So let's go ahead and move on to the 7th round pick here. Not ranked. Another Oklahoma State pitcher. Pretty raw right-handed pitcher. 5th year senior. I'm gonna butcher this. We said it 1,000 times.
Roman Phansalkar.
Roman Phansalkar. That's what we're going. Phansalkar. We're going with that. Roman Phansalkar. Nate, you got the reports on him. Go ahead. Take it away, man.
Yeah, looks like a low 3/4 slot. Going to be a little funky reliever. He is a reliever for sure. He came out of the bullpen for Oklahoma State coming off an injury. A lot of people had him as the comeback player of the year. I know that's not really an award in college baseball, but he definitely was the guy who came back for sure in that Big 12. They used him a lot. And it looks like about mid-90s fastball, like 93, 95, maybe 94, 96. So it could be an interesting guy. I would say kind of reminds me a little bit of Steve Cishek with the arm angle and things like that, but throws a lot harder. That's what I was going to say. But arm angle and things like that, he could be interesting. I think when you look at teams like the Tampa Bay Rays, they have a lot of guys that throw similar stuff, but they all have different arm angles, and that's something that the Angels could use, is something with a little bit of a different arm angle. So it's going to be interesting. Like you said, older kid, but probably another at slot, below slot guy, 5th year senior, probably under slot, setting up for that high school kid later on in the draft.
Ben Joyce, kind of funky arm slot too, by the way. Not normal, but I mean, then again,
Joel Zumaya.
That's fine. 105 is not normal. Hopefully Ben Joyce doesn't play Guitar Hero. On to our 8th round pick here. Angels picked a 2-way here. Fantastic. I'm excited again about this guy. 6 foot 222, 2-way, left-handed pitcher, first baseman, outfielder out of Kansas State, Dylan Phillips. On the hill, we got 2 reports on him. On the hill, fastball with a slurvy slider. Fastball's 90, 92, can get up to 95. So there is that ability to pitch. And then also had a fantastic year in 2021. I think he batted 333, 442, 642 with 16 bombs, 33 extra base hits. I'm not looking at anything either. We're going off of memory here. Had a fantastic year hitting wise. So if pitching doesn't work out, I think they have a really good option as a first baseman or an outfielder. And low key, you know what he kind of reminds me of? Jared Walsh. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Honestly, with him, I would let him hit first.
Yep.
I would definitely let him hit first, and if things didn't work out, then I would let him pitch, just because the velo isn't going to be crazy. I am looking. He was ridiculous in 2021. 333, 422 on base percentage, 643 slugging, 16 bombs, 58 RBIs in 57 games. So he had a really good year offensively there. I think you put him as an outfielder and let him almost go Rick Ankiel with him, where you say, hey, just play the outfield, hit. And I know this is the opposite way, but you play the outfield and hit. And then if it doesn't work out, let him pitch, because there's not a lot of projectability with him. He's 6 foot, probably not going to get any bigger. You already said he's 222, I believe, or 223 in that range, 225.
Yeah.
That's probably as big as he's going to get, but exciting 2-way player. Just gives that kind of option like Jared Walsh. And I think I love drafting a 2-way player because it does give you 2 chances.
Yep.
You know, if he doesn't hit like you expect him to, at least he's got the opportunity to pitch, and or vice versa. If he doesn't pitch as well as you'd like, he has a shot to hit. So interesting guy. I like him. I think outfielder makes the most sense, but first base pitcher, you know, kind of like I'm blanking on the Rays guy right now. One more time.
Brendan McKay.
Yeah, Brendan McKay, like kind of like that, but not as big as McKay. That's the one thing that worries me. But you know, going to be an interesting player if he can hit like he did in 2021. It's a really, really fun position player.
Yeah, again, a guy with some really good high upside there. I'm again, you're going to hear me say intrigued to see what this guy does. You're going to probably hear me say intrigued to see what a lot of guys do on day 3 as well. And that's just kind of where the draft lies. But I think intrigued to see what he does. I think he's going to hit. I think he's going to play a little bit of outfield. I think he's going to play a little first base, corner outfield. I don't think he's a center fielder by any means, but yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. So let's move on to the Angels' 9th round pick. The most average name in this year's draft for sure. Joe Stewart, 5th year senior out of Michigan. Also went to Michigan State, so don't get that mixed up with him either. Had a fantastic year. This guy is a physical specimen,
Yep.
something like that. Dude's unbelievable. Dude's yoked, rakes. Last season, in 2022 with Michigan, batted 349, 409, 573 with 17 doubles, 13 home runs, stole 23 bases. The guy just did it all. Again, do I say it again? Take it. Let's make it go back to the beginning of this podcast. Take a drink every time I say this guy. I'm intrigued to see what this guy does because I'm intrigued to see what Joe Stewart does. I really, really am. 5th-year senior, never really got drafted before this year. Put on a lot of weight, and he's quick. He does everything right. Let's just, you probably put him right into Tri-City. I know it's not a great place to put him as a hitter, but that's a good spot for him to start. And then you see him in Double-A real quick. And, I don't know if you got anything else on him.
First year at Michigan, correct?
Yes, first year. He was a grad student at Michigan, played every other year at Michigan State.
So one thing that I want to talk about Michigan does things a lot differently, which is huge. I think they could have really changed this guy's trajectory on why he got drafted. Michigan does things where they look at everything your body does, how well you can do it, and they tell you what the best swing path is for your body. Like if your hips aren't as fluid as somebody, they're not going to make you a drop and drive guy. If your ankle isn't as mobile as it should be, they're not going to make you try and turn as much with that ankle. Like they really have gone the golf metric and really tried to change swings towards body type instead of change swings toward an approach, which I think is very, very important, which could play a big part into why he had such a good senior season.
Absolutely. Michigan's doing some cool things there for sure.
Well, now it's going to be Clemson because he moved on to Clemson.
Wait, what?
The Michigan head coach is the new Clemson.
Yeah, all that. Yes. I was like, what are you talking about? No, that's why. I thought you meant Joe Stewart, and I was like, no, he's going to be. No. Yeah, let's move on to our 10th round pick here, last one of the day before we let you guys go. Matt Coutney, first baseman out of Old Dominion. I'm going to say it again here, guys. Very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. He actually set the Old Dominion home run record this year with 27. He batted 376 this year as well. Absolutely took off. Old Dominion's doing some really cool things there on the offensive side of things too. I don't know if you ever look up their stats, but they got some dudes there that are doing.
Did you see his slugging percentage this year?
800, was he 800?
808. Isn't that ridiculous?
That's crazy. And it's always intriguing to see. And I'm going to keep saying that 54 strikeouts in 58 games as well. Again, and he was the Conference USA Player of the Year. So out of Canada, super excited.
27 bombs, 70 RBIs. Really, really good year. Small conference school. You know how I feel about that, but it is nice to see the Angels go out and get some hitters that absolutely just rake. I think that's been the common theme with this draft for the offense is just, we don't care how big you are, how small you are, whatever you are. We just care, do you hit the baseball hard and do you hit it a long ways? And that's what it looks like the Angels have done in this draft. I mean, even Neto, 15 bombs. He had a great year last year. We already talked about the Auburn kid, and now we're here. And it seems to be the theme of the Angels draft with offensive players just hit, and hit the ball a long way.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely loved what the Angels did in day two. Before we let you guys go, we're going to, as we talked about before, the Angels have saved a lot of money, and I think that they're going to be in on one, if not more than one high school kid in day three, kind of like that Mason Albright type of pick. We'll see how Mason Albright turns out. But I'm just not a big IMG guy, to be honest. But just to throw out a couple names here that are left on the board that are high schoolers that could possibly fit a mold for the Angels: Tristan Smith, Malcolm Moore, Gavin Guidry, Bradley Neal, Sam Horn, Bradley Lofton, Jaden Newt. Nate, I know you like Jaden Newt, but I knew you've mentioned the name. I know the Angels hadn't been in on anybody in California on the prep side of things, so just an FYI there. They might. I mean, they've seen guys.
Sierra Canyon kid, mid to upper nines. Really, really exciting kid. He could be an interesting one. I don't know what his thought process is on money, but I mean, if the Angels kick him enough, maybe he signs.
Yeah, and most of these kids, I mean, minus a couple that I mentioned at the top there, most of these kids, their dollar figure is in the million to
maybe 1 to 2,
1.2 million. Yeah. So I think the Angels have saved up enough to get at least one of those guys, and then maybe drop down a little bit more, and possibly even get another kid as well. So again, I'm extremely intrigued. That's the word of the day, by the way. Intrigued. Go look that one up if you guys don't know.
That.
Yeah. If you guys haven't found that one out, it's intriguing. I'm very, very. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on day 3 for sure. So, Nate, you got any final thoughts before we let everybody go?
So here's my only thing. The Angels have done a really, really good job with this draft, and I like what they've done so far. The only concerning part for me is a lot of relief pitchers, and I think they have a lot of relief pitchers in the farm. I think Sam Bachman's a reliever. You can tell me otherwise, Jared, but that's what I think. I know you have said Silseth could be a really, really good reliever. C-Rod's a reliever. You look at all these guys, and they just have a lot of relievers, and that's what they went and got. I think we've seen Sandoval and Detmers have been good starters for the Angels, but they're still a couple starters short. So that's the one thing I think they're missing is a starting pitcher. But I like what they've done. They've got some offensive pieces, and I do think they've gotten some interesting arms out of the bullpen. I think they've got some different arm slots and some different velos, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, don't give up on Perry quite yet. That's all I got to say. Give him some time. Give this whole staff a little bit more time for sure. Let him bring in his manager. Let's see what they can do. Because again, this is very, very intriguing. I haven't said it enough today. So some more names. I mean, am I allowed to pick one name? Eli Jerzenbeck is the name. Keep an eye on that name for sure. I don't know why. That's just the name that popped out to me. And then side note on this as well. Cooper Jerpy, is he an Oklahoma State kid?
Cooper Jerpy is the Oregon State kid.
Oregon State, that's what it was. I was going to say Bryce Osmond, who I've loved since he was in high school, is still available. Probably a reliever, but he's still available. Absolutely love what he does at Oklahoma State. And Angels already have 2 other Oklahoma State kids to add on. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening to this podcast here at Talking Halos. Go follow us on all of our social medias. Subscribe wherever you are listening, whether it is on Instagram Apple, SoundCloud, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Go subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube as well. You can follow myself on Twitter, Jared_Timms. You can follow Nate at NateGreen34. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day.